Hi, it's Ursula Smith from Easy Scraps. Today I'm going to show you how to use bleach on cardstock, and if you're going to follow along while I'm demonstrating, my suggestion to you is that you use a cover-up, because bleach can really do a number on your clothes if you make a mistake. So why don't you go grab a shirt that you don't care about, and I'll meet you back here and show you my technique. And we're back. So I wanted to show you what I do when I use bleach with cardstock. A lot of people use liquid bleach, but I actually use these Clorox bleach pens. It's still bleach, but it's a little bit thicker, and so it's easier to coat your stamp with it. And you can actually use a little bit finer detailed stamps than you can if you were using liquid bleach. So I take one of these pens, and there's actually two ends to it. One is a pen end, and you can actually draw and write with that if you like, but I use the bigger cap. And I take my bleach, and I just take a piece. This is just, you know, cheap felt that you buy in a craft store, and I usually wad it up and make it into like a little ink pad. I take my bleach and I squeeze it out onto the felt. You can see it's been used multiple times. And now I'm pretty much ready to go. Now, the one thing that you need to be aware of with bleach is cardstock definitely varies with this technique. I'm going to be using American Craft cardstock today. Stampin' Up! Cardstock works well, but I got to tell you, the best, this is probably the only time I will ever say this, but the best cardstock is probably the cheaper stuff that you get in one of the big box stores. Perhaps the one that begins with an M. You all know what I'm talking about. So now I'm going to take my stamp. This is one of Easy Scraps stamps, and it's got a cool border and a flourish in the middle. And I'm just inking it as if it was a ink pad with my bleach covered felt. I can tap it off if I like, if I have a little bit too much bleach going. And then I'm just going to stamp as if this were ink onto my cardstock. And then, of course, with bleach, you're going to let it dry for a little bit. I'm going to switch stamps because I actually want to show you, you can even do it with something as detailed as our scroll butterfly. So I'm going to mount our scroll butterfly, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ink it up on my bleach pad, and then I'm actually going to grab a different piece of paper, and we'll see what it looks like on this teal colored paper. And then, of course, you're going to set it aside to dry. Okay, there's the blue, there's the teal. I'm going to set it aside. I'll show it to you later, but I just wanted to show you some of the other samples that I've done. Here's a green, and it actually bleaches out to kind of a blue color, which is kind of cool. Here's another green here that bleaches out to a gold color. I think that looks really neat. And then here's a set of images that I stamped onto black paper that's called Artigain. I'm trying to find the pad here. Okay, you can buy this in a lot of the art stores. It bleaches kind of neat. You can see it kind of bleaches out to somewhere between a white and a little bit of a brownish hue to it. Here's another piece of black Artigain that bleached out even more brown. And then here's cheap cardstock. This actually looks pretty cool. The black bleached out to a golden color. So anyway, grab yourself a bleach pen and a piece of felt and some cardstock and have at it. Hope you had a good time, and we'll catch you next time. So here's how the navy blue bleached out. Kind of bleached out to a light gray. Kind of looks neat. And then this is still drying, the teal color, but it's bleaching out to kind of a yellowish tint. Again, so you're never quite sure what you're going to end up with, but it's a really neat look. I love stamping with bleach, and I hope you do too. Thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you next time. So here's how the teal butterfly bleached out. It bleached out to kind of like a light yellow with some white in it. Really cool look. So that's the fun part about stamping with bleach. You just never know what you're going to get. And while I'm showing you this, I also want to mention when you're stamping with bleach, you really should clean your stamps as soon as you're done stamping with them. And the other suggestion that I would have is, if you remember, I'm using red rubber stamps. I don't know that I would recommend using the clear stamps with bleach. Clear stamps just aren't quite as strong as the red rubber is. I have to say that I've never tried it. It may work, but I pretty much would stick with the red rubber for bleaching purposes. Hi, it's Ursula again. One thing I didn't mention that I did want to pass on is a safety tip. When you're stamping with bleach, try to do it in a well-ventilated area. It does get really smelly. The other thing that you might want to do for precautionary measures is to just buy one of those cheap face masks. You can even find them in places like CVS. They're just the little cloth white ones, and they help to kind of break down the smell for you. So anyway, be safe and enjoy. Thanks.